everyone, it's Ms. Zinga. Today we're going to listen to a story called Moonbear's Shadow. What do you think our story is going to be about this week? Yes, about shadows. Take a look down here. You see how Moonbear is jumping up in the air? And he's jumping over some water. And what do you see down here? A picture of his shadow. Very good. The title of our story this week is called Moonbear's Shadow, and the author is Frank Ash. This is the front of the book. This is the back of the book. All right, we're going to begin reading. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. I'm going to catch that fish, thought Bear to himself. Can you see how he's putting the hook? And he's using a worm? What do you think he's going to do with that worm? He's going to try and catch that fish he sees. But when Bear stood up to throw his line in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. "Go away, Shadow!" cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. Why do you think the fish swam away? Yeah, his shadow. So the fish was able to see his shadow in the water, and it scared the big fish away. "Okay," said Bear. "If you won't go on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you." And he put down his fishing pole and he began to run. Let's think about that. Do you think Bear is going to be able to run away from his shadow? Let's make a prediction. Well, let's see if you're right. He ran around the pond. When he got to the other side, he kept on running. He ran through a field of flowers. He jumped over the brook and behind the tree. That's where he hid. He's hiding. "Oh, good," thought Bear. "Now Shadow can't find me." Did he solve his problem? Well, let's see if you're right. But Bear was wrong. When he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was his shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. "I'll climb so high that Shadow won't be able to find me," thought Bear. What do you think? Do you think that's going to work if he climbs all the way to the top of that cliff? Let's find out. Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself up to the top, huffing and puffing. Oh my goodness, he was so out of breath. He smiled with pride. Then he looked down, and who do you think he saw? His shadow. Now Bear was very annoyed. He was not happy. So he went home and got a hammer and some nails to nail his shadow down to the ground. What do you think? Do you think he's going to be able to nail his shadow down to the ground? Let's keep reading and find out. He hammered and he hammered and he hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. Why do you think that is? Why couldn't he keep his shadow nailed down to the ground? Exactly. Every time Bear moved, his shadow moved with him. "If I can't nail him down," thought Bear, "maybe I can bury him." So he got his shovel and dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall in the hole. Look at, here he is. He's letting his shadow fall inside of the hole. Do you think his shadow is going to stay in there? Let's find out. Then Bear filled in the hole with the dirt. When he was finished, it was almost noon, and the sun was high up in the sky, and Shadow was nowhere to be seen. At last, sighed Bear, no more Shadow. Let's think to ourselves. Look at this. The sun is up high in the sky. Why is there not a shadow? Yeah, because when the sun is on this side, it's shining light this way, which causes the shadow to be in front of him. And when the sun is over here and it's shining this way, the shadow is behind him. But when it's straight up in the sky, the light is coming on him. So can he see a shadow right now? No. But now Bear was very tired. That was a lot of work trying to run from his shadow. So he went inside and took a little nap. What do you think is going to happen when he goes back outside? Do you think he'll see a shadow? While he slept, time passed, and the sun once again cast shadows everywhere. When Bear got up and opened his door, he saw a shadow on the floor. "Not you again!" he exclaimed. And he slammed the door, hoping to lock Shadow inside. But Shadow was too quick. Sighed Bear. How about this? If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this. If it's a deal. When Bear nodded his head, so did Shadow. So Bear went back to the pond and once again threw his line in the water. By this time, the sun was in a different part of the sky, which made it easy for Shadow to keep his part of the deal. Remember, he's right there. What do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to catch a fish? Let's find out. And when Bear caught that big fish, Shadow caught one too. Look at his shadow. Caught a fish too. So when you guys go outside, I want you guys to see if you can see your shadow and see if your shadow does everything that you do. I hope you enjoyed my story today. See you soon.